So that health impact of loneliness is huge. This study says that it
Mm,
equates to poor health, depression, suicidal thoughts, heart disease, a weakened immune system, depression, anxiety, cognitive decline. When a woman
mm,
age 40 or 50 plus lives alone or they're recently divorced, they're more likely to experience these mental health challenges due to decreased social interaction.
mm,
We're living in a world now with an age gap and
mm,
social gap and
mm,
technology gap. And
mm.
technology has widened that gap even further.
Yeah.
The added component of everything's virtual.
Right, right, right.
Everything's
So you're not
virtual.
even in touch with
Mm-hmm.
people
Mm-hmm.
in your
In
space.
dialogue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
person to person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
online,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't a very intimate feel
Yep.
many
Yep.
times.
Mm-hmm.
But also because for women in midlife, there's like many unique things that could be happening,
Yeah.
right? If you had children, maybe your children are leaving, so you
Yeah.
become empty nesters,
Yeah.
right? Or perhaps you have a change in your relationship. Maybe you're getting like a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's this theme of people leaving,
Right.
right? People
Right.
leaving
Right.
for whatever reason that is kind of unique. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like during that time when there's many women that are going through those same things kind of
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Some women who may have had a job that been working for the same company for the same 25 years or
Right.
something, maybe getting ready to retire, and they're like, now what do I do? Because
Mm-hmm.
you have a social network at work. You
Absolutely.
have people you're talking to every
Absolutely.
day, you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing, they're checking on you,
Mm-hmm.
you've built these relationships. Now you don't have them. There may be a few that you still see here and there,
Right.
but constant every day is not going to be the
It's not there.
same. It's
Mm-hmm.
totally different.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
all of these changes are some of the causes, I think, too,
Mm-hmm.
for why women experience it to those levels because of our roles,
Yeah.
right? As
Yeah.
wife, as mom.
Yeah.
And many times those are really those roles. When we lose those roles, we don't know
We don't know what to
who we
do.
are. Who
What's
are we? What are we
next?
gonna do?
Yeah. We were just talking last night on the one episode where we're like, who am I?
Yeah.
And most times that who am I question does not happen until you're midlife. 40,
Right.
50 years old when everyone has left.
Yeah.
The
Because
kids are going off to
you are
college.
identifying yourself through your roles, right? So you have kids like in my 20s. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
mom. I've been
Yeah.
a mom for
Me
like the
too.
last 25, 30
Mm-hmm.
years. So that's who I am. I'm a wife, right? I've
Yeah.
been married for all of these years.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lose one of those, and you actually have to stop and say, well, now who am I without
What
these
benefits
people?
me?
And I guess some women are not able to answer that
Mm-hmm.
question, and they
Mm-hmm.
just spiral down
Yeah.
into loneliness and depression.
I was telling you the story about a lady that I knew that when I was growing up, her son died, and her son was older. Her son was like in his 30s or 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and her son passed away. And
Mm-hmm.
then later on, a few years later, her husband passed away.
Mm-hmm.
She was super lonely, even though
Mm-hmm.
she lived in a neighborhood where people were around her. She had become isolated, just forgotten.
So she isolate herself,
I think it was fostered
or maybe
two
a
ways.
combination? A
Two ways.
combination.
She isolated herself probably out of depression.
Yeah.
But then the community just kind of forgot about her because she was older. She was like in her 60s, 70s.
And also, I think sometimes people don't know how to react to that
Mm-hmm.
kind of sadness.
Mm-hmm. I
So it's easier to
exactly.
just avoid and be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I don't want to add to it or be
Mm-hmm.
in the way of it."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When
Or
now
be
you're
or be
just
accountable to do something about it for. That's the thing. That's even bigger to be
right,
accountable.
but you aren't accountable.
I wasn't. And I met her, me and my husband, and I remember going to visit her, and I remember her telling us that she was lonely.
Yeah.
And we didn't live there. We was just there visiting
Mm.
and was leaving the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And we went by to say hello, like we
Right.
always
Right.
do when we
Right.
come in
Right.
town.
Right.
And so we went by, and that's when she said she was lonely, and she was like, I don't know what this world has for me anymore. And some days I
Mm.
just feel like killing myself. And so
What?
but we ended up staying there with her for like hours and just kind
Right.
of talking with her and visiting with her. And
Yeah.
and I mentioned to one of her family, like, she needs help, y'all need to check on her.
Yeah.
She needs help,
Yeah.
and literally a year later,
Mm.
she ended up committing suicide.